our guest co-host today is the co-founder of Mind Valley Coach and one of the world's leading entrepreneurs and business coaches. We're so honored to have him in the studio. Please welcome back friend of the show, Ajit Nawalkha. How are you, Ajit?
I am very, very good.
We're so happy to have you back. You seem like a regular on the couch.
Well, this is my second time, that's for sure.
Right? Exactly.
I was here, blessed to be here for the opening episode, I think, for the season.
Yeah, we are blessed to have you back. So you heard us chatting at the top of the show. Are we enough, Ajit? Are we enough?
So the funny thing is that there are so many schools of thought about that, and one of the schools of thought that I really love is called school of thought that comes from Alfred Adler.
Okay.
He was a psychologist in the 1900s, and he was at the same time, and Freud used to be the dominant psychologist. Freud gave us the theory that you must uproot everything in your past to become successful in life. Adler, on the contrary, believed that you are always available to create the life that you want to create right about now, right? But the one thing that happens is through our life, we are always told to compare with somebody else or something else. That creates doubt in our mind, and that's where the whole narrative was, are you enough or are you not enough, kind of comes. It's not because in essence you're not enough, but it's because you compare is why you feel you're not enough. It's like comparing to every single person on the planet and hoping you can rise up beyond them to feel good enough about yourself. And that's why you're always good enough, but if you compare, you never are.
That's actually a really good way of putting it, isn't it?
Ajit, I have to ask you, it's weird saying your name because Ajit is my last name. So it's actually my dad's name. But anyway, my question to you was, I saw something on social media the other day that really resonated with me. It said that just when you think you're not good enough, there might be so many people out there who are looking at you thinking, how does she do it all? And I personally am very active on social media. I mean, for those of you who follow me, you can see my work, my life, my relationship with my child. You see different aspects of me. And I generally get positive affirmations from my followers, which makes me think I am doing something right. But on a certain day, it just takes for that one thing to go wrong, and suddenly my self-confidence or self-image comes down crumbling and I question my whole worth. Why does this happen and how can I deal with it?
So most of such responses happen because of probably something that comes from your childhood that happened and you held on to it without inquiring as to why is it that is present in your life. Now you don't need to, like I said, you don't need to deconstruct your past, you just need to bring awareness as to what really triggers this. There's usually certain kind of comments from certain kind of people that will put you into that state of going out and not feeling confident. A great tool at the time when you're feeling like, I don't know if I'm confident, is to kind of reframe how you may be thinking about life right now. A lot of us have been taught to think about ourselves in verticals. So we go, how can I be better? How can I be better than somebody else? Instead of that, if you ask yourself a question on how can I be better for someone else? There's a little change in that question. And the moment you switch that question, what happens is instead of thinking about you, you start thinking about people around you. And that innately gives you the one thing that we all always want, which is we all have a need to contribute to humanity. We all want to do something good for somebody else. It makes us feel good every single time we contribute to somebody else, help somebody else, have a conversation like this. It makes us feel like, wow, this is amazing. I'm helping somebody live a better life. And so a little switch, next time you feel like you're not feeling confident, you feel like I'm not good enough for this, or am I really doing the right thing, would be a switch in question that you're asking to yourself. Not how can I be better, but how I can be better for other people.
That's very, very valuable. So Ajit, I can't help but going back to the whole comparison thing, right? Comparison is the thief of joy. That's that old saying. And picking up on what Ash said, it's usually social media. And that's what makes us compare ourselves to other people, right? Have you seen this in your work, the rise of social media that is making people feel unworthy? Like we've seen all the kind of statistics on the rise of cyberbullying and things that girls go through in school. Is this something that you face day to day?
Absolutely, not just for young kids, it's even for adults. We're constantly bombarded by somebody else's highlight reel, and we think that's their life. But that's not their life, right? Even when you post so much on social media, you're a really confident person, there are moments where you don't feel confident. There are moments where you go like, is this even meaning anything? Is this even useful to the world, what I'm doing? And those are the moments we don't shine the light on. We don't get to because it's not celebrated, so we don't actually end up putting it up there. So not only young adults, even adults are facing this challenge right now where we feel constantly that we are not fulfilling the purpose and destiny, and we're not doing the best we can. And that is a downward spiral. And that's why you would see there's more reported mental health issues, not just in the West, but everywhere in the world right now. More people that report that they have events of anxiety and depression and not feeling enough or not feeling confident. Way more people report it, which in a way may seem really good because, hey, we at least have data, but also it is actually an overall increase in people actually experiencing that instead of enjoying life and living their best purpose in their own best way. So it's incredibly, it has definitely affected mental health of humanity overall. I think the next wave, I know you guys were talking about using ChatGPT as a therapist right before I came on, and that's actually the next wave of us declining further in mental health. Because having ChatGPT as your therapist or your coach is like having a narcissist as your coach. The only objective they have is to manipulate you. Because all the ChatGPT thing does is basically tells you exactly what you want to hear, right?
Exactly.
It tells you exactly what you want to hear. It validates your anxiety. It validates, yeah, you're right. There's a not funny, it was actually a pretty bad incident, but there's an incident that was recently reported where somebody asked ChatGPT the question, specifically ChatGPT the question that, I think I want to end my life or something like that. And it responded by saying, you're doing great. You should continue doing what you feel like doing. And I was like, what is that response?
horrible.
A therapist told you that. A person could really do something that's really, really bad.
Well, it's interesting because we actually had a whole AI episode a few days ago, and there are some things that the human element you can't take away from, right? Going back to what Ash was saying about kind of self-worth, how does that then affect people, I guess, in business? Because again, same thing, we talk about comparison. It seems that everybody, not only in the UAE, but in the world, has a side hustle, and you have to be going. You've got to be getting up at 4:30 in the morning and dipping your face into, like...
And rub a banana.
Let's not talk about that. Yeah, how does that affect people from a business perspective?
So this is the time where the most aware people will thrive even more than they have ever in the life. I mean, it's always been the case, but it's become even more evident and even more important that people do the work of being aware of what they want, not what the world wants from them, what is right on social media, what is right in front of eyes of other people, but what do they want for themselves. And that's one of those things that happens and distinguishes entrepreneurs that are wildly clear of what they want in life versus entrepreneurs that are looking at outside validation, because they tend to suffer a lot more than individuals that are clear of what they want to do and they continue to do what they want to do.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, so I've been in the corporate space for about 12 years, right? And I had clients approach me before I even started my business. But going from corporate to now launching my business, there's still a lot of imposter syndrome involved in that, and thinking, oh my God, can I do it? Am I good enough? Do I have the skills? Maybe I need another degree. You know, what tools can you give entrepreneurs starting their journey just to get them across the line? I've been brainwashing myself and saying, okay, you can be scared, but do it anyway. What else would you advise?
That's a phenomenal tool. Another thing to notice is that whenever you think you have an imposter syndrome or you think you're not good enough, there could be a challenge of skill. And skill is something that is developed over time. You have to work on that skill. It's not something that you wake up one day and you know how to do business. Even people who graduate from business schools have no idea how to do business. So you're building a skill. And when you approach it like a skill, as something that you're learning, it's like, going to drive your car for the first time. You don't go away straight away give a test. You go to driving school, you learn it. You practice it before you go to get a test. But then eventually you realize, I just get in my car and I drive. What's the big deal, right? That's how anything is, and that's how building a business is. So if you are somebody new who is questioning if you're good in doing this business or not, see what are the skills that are leading you to believe that, because it's a skill gap. And the moment you learn those skills, you're driving the car without any challenge at all.
Phenomenal.
Ajit, I have to disagree with you on the ChatGPT bit, but unfortunately we don't have time, because I feel like it has given me advice and tools that's more curated to my needs, and your phone listens to you more. And also the person who tried to commit suicide, I mean, it's unfortunate, but I'm guessing he was still alive to tell the story. So anyway, we need to go to break. Please stick around with us. Next up, we'll be talking to a children's coach who is helping parents raise confident and resilient kids. See you after the break.